today we'll discuss about joins, how we can join different tables together or two tables together. Since two tables are related, now we can join together to get some information instead of duplicating. Like if I want to get a certain post, the name of the user who has posted this post, we will not like duplicate or write every time the name of the user who has posted it. Instead, we will store the information in a separate table, and then we use joins to query the two tables together to retrieve the information that we want. So like the foreign key here inside this post table, we have the foreign keys which represents the user who owns the exact post inside this table, meaning that the user with ID 1 owns the first two posts with ID 1 and 2. So it means that the posts are like children and the students are the parent table. So let's see how we can write joins. So we can write joins like this. Let's say we want to get the name of the student and the email and also the post of that specific student. Like you want to display the name of the student and also the post that student has posted in one table. So let's see how we can write joins. So we'll query two different tables, so that we display the information that we want. So let's start. So you can write now for tonight session, we'll use the DB browser to write the SQL commands. So now let's query from the student. Remember, we are having two tables here. One is the students table and the other one is the post that we are demonstrating, which has one-to-many relationships. That means a student can have many posts, but a post can only belong to one student. So we want to get the post alongside with the name of the student. Like when you're browsing your Facebook app, you will see each post and also you will see above it the username or the full name of the user who has posted it. So let's now write the SQL queries to do that. So let's say we want to select from student. Let's say we want to select. We will select from student. We will select from this student table, and we'll select the information, only the information that we want. So let's say we want the name of the student. So we'll say students dot name, meaning the table name, it was what? Student. So I want the name. So the name was a column inside the student table. So for me to get the value of the name column, it will be what? Students dot name. So I will get the exact name. So again, comma, we want also the email. So we'll say students dot email. Students dot email, and then we can say again we will join different another table like this. Let's see the visualization. We can see it here. So here we are having two tables, students and the post, the exact tables that we are having inside the DB browser. So for the post we have what? 4 posts. So it means that these 2 posts that you are seeing here, it is owned by the user with ID, the user with ID 1 that you are seeing here, student ID 1, the student with ID 1. So these 2 posts are owned by the student with ID 1. So if I want to get now the name of the user who has posted this post, it will be what? I will now join these 2 tables because these are 2 different tables. I will do what? I will join these 2 different tables to get the name of the user or the student who has posted this post. Get what? Qasim, which was having ID 1 from a different table, and I will attach inside one table. So what you want, the final result, you want something like that. So now let's say we select the student name, meaning there was a student table which is inside here that you see there is a students table. The name of the table is students, and inside the student you have what? The name column. So for me to get the names Qasim, Halima, Zakaria, or Halima again like that, I have to do what? I have to attach the column to the table, meaning students.name. Then I get what? The values, or inside the values inside the rows, the real names. So that is what student.name means. Again, student.email, the same thing. Now again, I want to get also from another table. Let me say I want to get the post title. So here we are having another table. So we will now query from different tables. So we are having also the post student. So inside the post, we are having something like title, description. So if I want to get the title, it will be what? Posts, the table name, dot title. So again, I will do what? I will now write posts dot title, meaning I want to get whatever is inside the title column. Then from that, we can say select from now, from the student table. So now we indicate from where. So we'll say from students table. Next, now we can now join now. Now the first, there are many joins. There are different joins, types of joins. We have the inner join, the right join, the left join, the full outer join, the cross joins, and the rest. So we'll start with the inner join. We'll start with the inner join. Each one, it works differently. So the inner join means it will now, inner join is like strict. It only retrieves the students who has associated posts. Like here, inside our students table, we are having different many students, but we are having only 4 posts, and these 4 posts were only owned by 2 students. That means the rest of the student, apart from the 2, it means that they don't have posts that associated with them. So in a join now, it will make sure it retrieves only or selects the students who have associated posts. So it will now join to the 2, and it will like sit at the center of the 2 tables. It takes the post from the right side, and also it will take the student from the left side. But strictly, it will make sure that it retrieves only the student who have associated posts. So we can say inner join. Then we say posts inner join. Now we join what? We join with the post table, because we have selected from the student. Now we join now the post table. So we use the inner join. So we can say inner join post. Then on, another keyword, meaning on now. Where now? Now after this we specify the 2 links, now the 2 things that links the 2 table, because we say that the foreign key correspond to what? To the primary key from the parent child, from the parent table. So it will be student's ID, student.id, meaning we join the 2 tables with this condition, students.id, meaning that this student.id should match what? It is matching the foreign key inside the post. So we'll say student.id is equal to posts.student.id. So it will be student.id is equal to post.student.id, post.student.id, and we have finished our query. So we have selected the student's name and the email, and also the post, the title of the post from the student. Now we join what? The post table. On which condition? That the primary key of the students is equal to the foreign key inside the post. So now let's see and we run this query and we see the result. So now you see the result. Now you see how now the inner join is working. So this is the result at the center. So we see that only the student. So the inner join, it joined and made sure that we retrieve only the student to have a valid post. So you see there were 4 posts and there was 2 students associated with us, as we have said earlier. So we are not now seeing the rest. So it means that the rest, they didn't have what? Post. So we only see the ones, the student to have a post. So Qasim and the email and his post, the post that was corresponding to him. Qasim again this post, again Zakaria with his post, like that, and the rest of the student were left out. So that's how the inner join works. It is strict, meaning it only returns the student with what? With a valid post. Now let's see again another query, and we see another type of join, which is the left join. So now the left join, as the name suggests, it means that it will retrieve all the whatever like we select from the left table. So left table means if now this is the student and this is the post table, it means that this post is from where? From the right table, from the right side. This post is from the right side. So it means that this is the right side, and also the student is from the left side. So left join, now it will ensure that the student, it will return all the student, whether they have a valid post or they don't have what? A post. It will return all the students, whether they have post or not. So it will return everything from the left side. That's how the left join will work. But on the right, it will only, now it will, for the student with no post, it will do what? It will display null, meaning they don't have post. So that's how now the left join works. So let's see how it works. So we'll see how it works. So let's say select. Again, we select the student name. Again, we select the student name the same way. So we'll say students.name, and then the students.email, meaning we get the values, the real name and the real email from the students table. So we can say again, get the posts. Let's say post.title. So we can say post.title. Then we can say we get from the students. Then now we do what? We join now the other table, which was post. So now we are using the left join. And the left join, as the name suggests, we say that it retrieves all the information from the left side, the table on the left side, like student was on the left side and the post was on the right side. So it will retrieve everything from the student. It will retrieve all the students, whether they have post or not. The ones with no post, they will have what? Then they will have null values. So we'll say now left join. So we can say left join. Then we can say now post. We left join. Now we join the post table, and then we can say on which condition? The same way that we were doing with the one before. Meaning that's the condition that will make us like sure that this table relate is which? The foreign key of the child table correspond to what? To the primary key to the primary key of the parent table, the owner. So it will be on students dot id is equal to posts dot students id, and then we have finished our query. So now this left join, it is like you are collecting, let's say, homework or a roll call inside a class, and you don't mind whether they did the homework or not. So you will take a roll call with all the students' names and whether they did or not. So the ones who did the homework, they will have what? Yes, but the students who didn't do the homework will have what? No, like null. So let's see how this one is working. So we'll select this and we'll run this query. We are facing what? With errors. So there is a syntax error at line 5. So let's check. So the error is that we have missed a comma. So let us run again. So now it has finished what? Without error. So you see how the left join is working now. It has retrieved all the information from the left table, the names of all the students from the left table. You see the name and the email. Also the post. So the ones the students wouldn't have post, we have what? Null displayed on front of them. So that's how the left join is working. So we are joining two different tables to get some information from this table and another information from another table. That now this left join is working in a way that it retrieves all the information from where? From the left table now, which was this student, which is student table, and the right was this post table. So the left join, it takes or retrieves all the information from the left where they have a corresponding information like the post or not. So it will retrieve all. So that's how the left join is working. And again, we have what we call the right join. So the right join will be the opposite. It means it will now retrieve all the posts where they have a user associated with them or not. Opposite to the left join. So it means, like, let's say we are having these 4 posts, but let's say again we deleted like the user with ID 1, which was Qasim, who was owning these 2 posts. We deleted. So now right join will not look whether like the student exists. It will retrieve what? All the posts, meaning it will retrieve all the information from the right table. So if you delete this, if you delete now the user, this user with ID 1 who was associated with these posts, these 2 posts, it will still what? Retrieve these 2 posts. But in front of it, it will have what? Null. The same as how the left join was working. So now let's see how the right join is working. So the right join now will select all the information from the right table, and we have visually seen where the right table is located. So now, since we want to select from the right join select all the information from the right table, we have to start selecting from where? Like selecting the information of the right table. So we'll say select posts dot title and also students dot name. So now you understand that what post dot title means, what student dot name means. So we don't have to repeat. So we are selecting the post dot title, meaning the title, the value inside the title column, inside the title column of the post. So if I want to get the value inside this column, it will be what? Posts dot title. So that's how we are writing it. Now again, student dot name. Also, let's say we want to display the student name. So let's say we select from students. Then now we join. Now we right join the post. So let's see how the right join is working. So we can say right join post. Now we use right join. So we can say right join the post table, meaning it will select all the information from the post table. So we'll say write join posts on, again the same condition, student id is equal to posts dot student id, posts dot student id, meaning that how they relate is that the posts which is inside here but student id corresponds to student dot id the same way. That is why we are writing it. So now this how the right join post model. Now you might not see the full effect of the right join, but we'll see how we can make sure that you understand. So let's now run the current. So now you see it has selected all the posts from the right table, which was the post, and also the names that's corresponding. So it has left out the names of the student who didn't have what? A post. Again, let's say we delete the Qasim. So let's say we delete Qasim. Let's say we delete Qasim. So Qasim was having ID 1. So we can say delete from students, and then we can say where ID is equal to 1. We want to delete the Qasim so that we see how the right join is working. Right join, it means that it will retrieve all the posts, meaning it will retrieve all the information from the right table where they don't have a user or not. So it means that the first two posts, hello and happy birthday, was belonging to the user with ID 1, whose name was Qasim. That is how we join two different tables, and we go to what? The values from different tables. So what if you delete the user with ID 1, which is Qasim? So right join, it doesn't consider. It will retrieve all the information from the right table, whether they have someone and who owns it or not. So it will retrieve it. So let's say delete from student where ID is equal to 1. So let's run this one, and then we delete Qasim. Again, after deleting Qasim, now look, if we again run this query, it means that it will retrieve all the posts. So the first two posts were not, Qasim since was deleted, now it doesn't have what? Anyone who owns it. So right join doesn't care. It will do what? It will return all. Now you see, right join, it has returned what? All the information from the right table, which was the post. So it has hello and also happy birthday. But you see, the name is null, meaning we have deleted what? That specific user, which was Qasim. That's how the right join is working. It doesn't consider whether the information inside the right table has an owner who still exists or not. So that's how the right join works. So that's the reason why we are learning the joins, the different types of joins. So far we have seen how the inner join works, also the left join works, and also the right join works. So we are selecting, look, we are selecting two information from two different tables. Title, it is in where it is post table, and the name, it is from where? It is from the student table. So we are joining, as the name suggests. Take this thing simple. So it means that we are having two tables. Title is from post, and the name is from student. So that is how now the joining is happening. So we are joining two different tables, and you will need this. You will need these joins many times when you are now building your application to avoid duplicate things. Also writing every time, because the name can change. So you don't have to write the name into the post table every time, because the name can change. So what you do is you store the information or the details inside a table, and also the other information inside another table, and now use what? Joins to query two information from the two different tables, and you join the two tables together. So that's how the inner join works. The inner join, it will make sure it returns all the information from the student side and also from the post side where they have a user or not. So let's see again. So if you run, so you see it returns what? The strictly. So the inner join is strict, meaning it will return only what? The ones the owners or the parent with what? With a child. Meaning Qasim we have deleted, so there is no associated records for him or there's no associated post. So that's now you are only seeing Zakaria. So inner join is the strict one. It makes sure it retrieves only the records with what? With a parent that exists. So that's how the inner join is working. The left join, as the name suggests, it means that it will retrieve all the information from where? From the left table. So the left table was the student and the right was the post. So if a post has null, it will not do what? It will not return that post. But if a student has null or has no post, it will still return the information of the user, of the student or user. So you see, Halima, the student, this student has no what? Has no post. So you see, we are still returning the information of that student. Also Zakaria, we are returning, and but still he has what? Post. Also there is, but look, you have omitted what? The user that we have deleted, which was Qasim, because he doesn't have what? An associated, and also he's no longer in the student table. Again, the right join opposite to the left, it means it will select all the information from the right table, whether they have a corresponding information on the other table or not. So the right table was the post. So if a post inside the student ID here, we are having 1, meaning that the student who was having ID 1, it means that the student who was having ID 1 was owning this post. But since the student was deleted, it means that the right join will still what? Will still display the post since it's inside the right table. But it will have what? A null value, meaning there is no longer associated student who owns this record. That's now how the right join works. So you see it displays all the information from the right table, whether they have a parent or they don't have. So it will display all. So that's how the right join works. So that's now what we wanted to discuss today. The joins. Again, there are many other joins that you can look, but the main important thing is to understand how, like, what the join. Why do we need the joins? Because we have created different tables. We formed relationships whereby two tables were related using the foreign key and the primary key, meaning that the foreign key inside another table was corresponding to a primary key from another table, the table of the parent table, because the child table was the one with the foreign key, meaning that it was owned by another object, which is a user. So that is now when we are having two different tables and we have different information that is sitting in different tables. So we want to join, like to take information from this table, which is student, and also we want to take another information from another table, which is post, so that we can see some of the details like name. Like you see when you're browsing these applications like Facebook, Instagram, they display the post and also the name of the person, so that you know this person is the one who has posted this. So maybe the details sit what in a different table and the post in a different table. So we use now join these two different tables. so that we get the information instead of writing the name and the details of the user into the post every time, because the name can change, the user can change his or her name. So that's how joins are very important, and as a backend developer you need to understand joins, or